Hello everyone, this is Yasin. Today I'm going to visit Hagia Sophia, which is my favorite building in Istanbul. First, let me tell you about its history. Hagia Sophia was built between 532 and 537 by Emperor Justinian. And the name Hagia Sophia is related to, it's directly related to Jesus Christ, who is called the wisdom of God in the Bible. So this building was used as a church for 916 years until 1453, when Constantinople was conquered by the Ottoman Empire. And after the Turkish conquest, it was turned into a mosque. And it was used as a mosque until 1935. In 1935, it was turned into a museum by Atatürk, founder of Turkish Republic. But in 2020, it was reconverted into a mosque. So today, Hagia Sophia is a functioning mosque. But there is one thing you should know about. The ground floor is for prayers, and the upper gallery is like a museum. So if you want to see the upper gallery, you have to pay 25 euro. Before going inside, let me show you one more thing. As you can see, there are some ruins in front of me. They belong to another church, which was built in 415 by Emperor Theodosius II. So this area was discovered in 1935. Okay, let's go inside. Let me also tell you something about the minarets. So the minaret is a tower which is used for call to prayer, and Muslims pray 5 times a day. And prayer times are based on an Islamic calendar. And it's a lunar calendar. That's why prayer times change every day. And this is the main reason why there is a call to prayer 5 times a day. So the minarets were added in different times by Turkish people. And these are the last 2 minarets added in the 16th century. And there are 2 more minarets on the other side. And the one in red color is the oldest minaret of Hagia Sophia. So there is a mosaic signature of Sultan Abdülmecid, who lived in the 19th century, and he restored Hagia Sophia. And this mosaic signature of the Sultan was made with original mosaics of Hagia Sophia that fell off during restoration in 1847-49. Okay, this is the imperial door, the biggest door of Hagia Sophia, and it was used by the emperors. And there is a mosaic above the door, so you can see Jesus sitting on a throne and holding a book in his left hand. The book is the Bible, and in the Bible it says, "Peace be with you, I am the light of the world." And he's flanked by 2 medallions, Virgin Mary and Archangel Gabriel. And there is a person on the right side of Jesus. He's in a white dress and kneeling down. And the person is the emperor, but we don't know his name because there is no inscription on it. Now we have to take off our shoes, and you're not supposed to step on the carpet with your shoes. There are also some interesting symbols behind the imperial door. You can see a white cross, which is the Golgotha cross, and also there are some fish symbols, dolphins, and dolphins have something interesting between themselves. It's an ancient symbol, a trident, which is the weapon of Poseidon, sea god. And you can see trident in different parts of Hagia Sophia. That's not the only example. So the main dome of Hagia Sophia is the most interesting and the most beautiful part of this building, but it's also the most problematic part because it collapsed 3 times. And the last collapse was in the 14th century. So after the last collapse, they added 4 seraphims around the dome. So seraphims are celestials mentioned in the Old Testament, and they are like guardians flying around the throne of God. So now they are flying around the dome to protect it. And there is a calligraphic inscription in the center of the dome. It was made by Turkish people in the 19th century. It says, Allah is the light of the skies and the earth. So this is a verse from chapter Nur of the Holy Quran. So we saw the Bible in Jesus' hand above the emperor's door, and in the Bible he was saying, I am the light of the world. But in this calligraphic inscription it says, God, Allah is the light of the skies and the earth. So this is the main difference between Islam and Christianity. So Jesus has an important position in Islam, but he's a prophet, so he doesn't have a divine personality. That's why Muslims believe that God is the only one who has a divine personality. And there are also 8 big medallions. Each one has a name written in Arabic. So the first one, which is on the right side, reads Allah. Second one, Muhammad. Next 4 names are the companions of Prophet Muhammad. And the last 2 are the grandsons of the Prophet Muhammad, Hassan and Hussein. And the names of his companions are Abu Bakr, Omar, Osman, and Ali. As you can see, there is a big carpet and it covers the floor, which is white marble, except this area. This area has stones in different colors, and it's usually mistaken for the coronation spot of Eastern Roman emperors, but there is no any historical record about it. So it's probably where the emperor and royal family members used to pray. It's like a private spot, or it's a mark to show the private place of the royal family and this building. Because there was a similar thing in the upper gallery for the empress, but it's much smaller and it's just one green marble. Let me also tell you something about the Islamic architecture of Hagia Sophia. So on the left side there is a beautiful balcony. It was added in the 19th century, and there was another one before this balcony, and this is where the Sultan used to pray. So it's like a private prayer room of the Sultan, because safety is a big issue in all big empires, and there is always a private place for the ruler. So we just saw a colorful floor, and I said it was it's how they marked the private spot of the emperor and royal family members. And there was a similar thing when he was a mosque. And there's a marble niche in front of the apse of Hagia Sophia. It's a very, very important thing in a mosque because it indicates the direction, which is the Kaaba. So the Kaaba is a black building. It looks like a black cube, and it's in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. So when Muslims pray, they have the face towards the Kaaba. And there is a pulpit, which is only used on Friday, because Friday is a different day for Muslims, but it's not the whole day. It's the second prayer time, which is around 1 p.m. So there is a sermon lecture on Friday, and Imam, the leader, gives his lecture from the pulpit. And there is one more. Actually, there are balconies, more than one, but this one is for a specific person. It's for the muezzin, chanter, who recites call to prayer. Because there was no microphone, loudspeakers, back in the days, so they needed an elevated space, elevated place for better acoustic. This is that's the main reason why there is a balcony for the chanter and a pulpit for the imam. When we go to the south aisle, there is a beautiful library added by Sultan Mahmud I in the 18th century. And this library used to have a big collection of manuscripts, but they are not here anymore because when Hagia Sophia was turned into a museum, so the manuscript collection was moved to another place, Süleymaniye Library. And the door, the metal door of the library has interesting door handles, and there is something written in the door handles. It says Ya Fettah, which is one of the 99 names of Allah in Islam, and it means the opener, but it means he who opens all doors with his wisdom. So he is like the real he's the opener. This is what they try to mean. So when you look up, you can see a lot of Christian symbols. There are so many crosses and geometrical figures. Also, the capitals are so interesting, and these capitals have monograms of Emperor Justinian and his wife Theodora. Also, there are titles of them. So before going to the upper gallery, let me show you one more thing. It's a mosaic in the front wall, but now it's covered with curtains. It's located between two big medallions, Allah and Muhammad. So the mosaic is the Virgin Mary with the Christ child. She's sitting on a throne, and it's the first mosaic which was made after iconoclasm. This is where you can buy a ticket for Hagia Sophia. There is also one more important thing. There is a dress code you have to follow, so you can check it. You can check it out online. There are some pictures of the dress code for the mosque, and the entrance for the upper gallery is underneath this minaret. So after you buy your ticket, you can go over there, and there will be a security control. I just passed through the security control. Now let's go to the upper gallery. Now you can see the original floor, which is white marble. And there is an arcosolium, which is a grave, but we don't know exactly whom it belongs to. It's like a small burial site. So the upper gallery has got 3 different sections. We will start with the north gallery. Then we will see the west gallery, and the last place will be the south gallery, which is the most interesting and important part because it has got beautiful mosaics. Okay, this is the North Gallery. There is only one mosaic in this part of Hagia Sophia. It belongs to Emperor Alexander, and it was made in the 10th century. But the mosaic panel has a strange location, so it's not easy to find it. You have to pay attention. Now we can see the mosaic panel of Emperor Alexander behind the arch. And his name is written in a medallion, Alexandros. Since the main dome has static problems, it usually has a damage after earthquakes, and it doesn't stop pushing everything down and outwards. That's why you can see arches and columns in an unusual shape. Some columns look like they're leaning. Okay, let me show you a nice spot. Okay, we just finished the North Gallery. This is the West Gallery, where we can see a private lodge for the Empress. It has a different floor. As you can see, there are marbles in different colors, and there is a green marble disc, which is believed that it's the lodge of the Empress. That's how they mark it. And this spot has a very nice view. Okay, now we can see the South Gallery, which is my favorite part. And there's a marble structure, marble door, which dates to the 6th century. Actually, it has got blocks of marbles, but they were designed like a real door. So you can see door handles, keys, a keyhole, and also there are some symbols like a single-headed eagle. And there are some big crosses behind the door. And Hagia Sophia has got a lot of graffitis, and one of them is so famous. It's a Viking script from the 9th century. Yeah, it's pretty crowded today, and it will be more crowded when high tourist season starts. So I would like to show you the Viking script, but there are a lot of people now. As you can see, there is a plastic plaque, which is a kind of protection.
You have to read here, sorry.
That's a Viking. It is believed that it was a Viking garden. Yeah, and that's the name, Kaufman, seems. It's written there.
So the Viking script has one name, which is Halfdan. As you know, Vikings used to be soldiers in the Eastern Roman army, and they were imperial guards. That's the reason why there used to be Vikings in Istanbul. They got paid by the emperor, and some of them left marks. Actually, there are some other Viking graffitis and scripts, but the one I show you is the most famous Viking script. And there are two mosaics. The one on the right side dates to the 12th century, the Komnenian mosaic. We can see John II Komnenian and his wife Piroshka, Hungarian princess, but after marriage she changed her name to Irene, which means peace. And Virgin Mary with the Christ child is in the center, and there's one more figure who is the son of Emperor and Empress Alexios. And the other mosaic is older. It's from the 11th century, So Jesus is in the center. He's flanked by Empress Zoe. And her husband, Constantine the Ninth Monomachos. So let me show you a good spot to see the apse mosaic of Hagia Sophia. So the Zoe mosaic has an interesting story. She got married 3 times, and it's believed that the mosaic was made after the first marriage. But after each marriage, they changed the faces. But after the 3rd marriage, she was quite old. But they put a very young face when they changed the Zoe mosaic. So it's like a Photoshop or plastic surgery in the 11th century. Actually, I would like to give you more information, but it's as you can see, it's pretty crowded, so it's not easy to find a good spot, and it's quite noisy now. That's why I'm giving you a kind of basic information. Now we can see my favorite mosaic, Daisies, supplication, prayer. So Jesus is in the center, and he's flanked by Virgin Mary and Saint John the Baptist. They are raising their hands in supplication on behalf of humanity. So this is like a masterpiece of Byzantine mosaics, and it dates to the 12th or 13th century. The mosaic, I mean, it partially survived, and there is a depiction, imagination. Okay, we are using the marble door again for exit. And before we finish our tour, I will show you one more mosaic, which is from the 10th century. This is the last mosaic we can see at Hagia Sophia. You can see Virgin Mary with the Christ child in the center. She's flanked by 2 emperors. The one on the left side is Justinian, the founder of Hagia Sophia, and the other one is Constantine the Great, the founder of Roman capital Constantinople. And Justinian is holding a church in his hands, that's Hagia Sophia, and Constantine is holding a city surrounded with walls, that's Constantinople, and they're offering Hagia Sophia in Constantinople to the Virgin Mary because she was the patron saint of Constantinople. And the beautiful door. Unfortunately, we cannot see it very well anymore. But this door is quite interesting. There is it's commonly said that the door is about 2,200 years old, and it was brought to Hagia Sophia from a temple in Tarsus, but this information is not correct. The door probably dates back to the 1st century AD, and it was redesigned in the 9th century when it was brought to Hagia Sophia. We are about to finish our tour, so let me show you the last thing. This is the ablution fountain. Muslims wash some parts of their body before praying, and this is a primary school. And there are also tombs of the sultans in the courtyard of Hagia Sophia, but it's under restoration now. 5 sultans are buried in this complex. Imagine there are 36 sultans in Ottoman history, and 5 of them are buried in this part of Hagia Sophia. So you can see one of the tombs. Thank you for watching the video. See you next time.